I said. "I'm the Princess of Genovia, but I don't want anyone to know this." "They'll find out about you soon," said my mom. "Maybe they'll read your story in the newspaper." "Why will it be in the newspaper?" I asked. My mom and Dad looked at each other. Then my dad took out his wallet. He opened it and took out some money. "All right, Mia," he said. "How much do you want?" I was shocked. So was my mom. "I'm serious," he said. "The Thermopolis-Ronaldo agreement isn't working. I want your grandmother to turn you into a princess, so I'll pay you to go to the princess lessons. How much do you want, Mia?" I started to speak. I didn't want any money, but my dad said, "Listen, I'll give $100 a day to Greenpeace. The money will arrive with a letter from you. The money will help Greenpeace to save a lot of whales. But you'll learn how to be a princess. Do you agree?" "I want to work for Greenpeace when I leave school. If I pay them all that money, they'll have to give me a job." So I agreed. I'll learn to be a princess. Evening. Lily Moskovitz and I had a fight. A big argument. She isn't my friend anymore. This is what happened. I couldn't help Lily with her film this morning. I had to go out with Grandmère, so Lily told me to help her this evening. When I walked into the Moskovitz's apartment, she stared at my hair. "What happened to you?" she said in a shocked voice. "My grandmother took me to a guy called Paolo. But Lily wouldn't let me finish my explanation. "Your hair is the same color as Lana Weinberger's," she said. "And what are those things on your fingers? Are those fake fingernails?" "Lana Weinberger has those too. You're turning into Lana Weinberger." I started to get angry. I am not turning into Lana Weinberger. "This wasn't my idea," I said. "It was my grandmother's decision. I had to agree." "Why didn't you say no to your grandmother?" said Lily. "I asked you to help me, but you said no. Then your grandmother told someone to cut off your hair. She told him to color it yellow. And you let her do this." I got really mad. It had been a very difficult day. "Lily," I said angrily, "shut up." I've never told Lily to shut up before. Why was Lily telling me what to do? Then Michael came out of his bedroom. When he saw me, he looked very surprised. "What did you just say to me?" said Lily. She was angry now. "My mom, my dad, my grandmother, and my teachers are always telling me what to do," I said. "You're my friend. Now you're telling me what to do too." "What is your problem?" said Lily. "I don't have a problem," I said. "But you seem to have a big problem with me, so I'm leaving." "And," I said, opening the door, "my hair is not yellow." I went home and took a hot bath. Then I picked up Fat Louie and got into bed. Lily hasn't called and apologized. I'm not going to call her first. I looked in the mirror a few minutes ago. My hair doesn't look so bad. 11:59 p.m. Lily still hasn't called. Sunday, October 12th, morning. Something has just happened. It was very embarrassing. I walked into the kitchen to get some breakfast. My mom and Mr. Giannini were sitting at the table. They were eating pancakes. They were very surprised to see me. "What are you doing here, Mia?" asked Mom. "You were going to stay at Lily's place last night." I didn't reply. At that moment, I wanted to be at Lily's place. I didn't want to see Mr. Giannini having breakfast in our kitchen. He had spent the night at our place with my mom. I didn't want to know this. "Frank missed his train home last night," said my mom. "So I asked him to spend the night here. He slept on the couch in the living room." She was lying. I knew that, but I didn't say anything. Late morning. After breakfast, my mom and Mr. Giannini went to Central Park. They asked me to go with them, but I didn't go. I have lots of homework to do. That's what I told them. Maybe they'll kiss each other. I didn't want to see that. People kiss on TV, and that's okay. But my mom kissing my algebra teacher? No. Afternoon. I've just turned on my computer. I've got an email from Michael Moskovitz. He's going to help me with my extra algebra. I can't believe it. Wasn't that nice of Michael? Chapter 7. A New Friend. Sunday, October 12th, late evening. My dad called me after lunch.
I want you to come to the Plaza Hotel this evening. I want you to have dinner with me and Grandmère, he said. I'll send Lars to pick you up in the car.
When I told Mom, she looked happy. That's okay, she said. I'll stay here. I'll order some food from my favorite Thai restaurant. I'll watch TV. Dinner at the plaza was very boring. I couldn't eat most of the food because it was meat, but I ate some fish and some chocolate ice cream. Dad kept asking me questions about Mom and Mr. Giannini.
Do you feel okay about your mom dating your algebra teacher? He asked.
Why is my dad asking me this? My mom likes Mr. Giannini. I know that. But does she love him? I don't know. I didn't tell my dad about Mr. Giannini staying the night. When I got home, I saw 2 empty cartons of Thai food in the kitchen. Was Mr. Giannini here for dinner? I asked my mom. Oh, no, she said quickly. I was very hungry, so I ordered 2 meals. My mom has told me 2 lies today about Mr. Giannini. Lily still hasn't called. Monday, October 13th, morning. This morning, I asked Lars to stop the car at Lily's apartment building. I wanted her to ride to school with us, but she had already left her apartment. Afternoon. I usually sit with Lily in our school cafeteria at lunchtime, but today, a boy called Boris Pelkalski was sitting beside Lily. He was sitting in the seat where I usually sit. Lily likes Boris Pelkalski because he's a great musician. Boris comes from Russia, and he plays the violin. He also wears his clothes in a weird way. I got a plate of salad and looked around. Most of the tables in the cafeteria were full of students. Who can I sit with? I thought. Tina Hakim Baba was sitting at one of the tables. No other students were sitting with her. Tina's parents are very rich. Her father comes from Saudi Arabia, and he owns an oil company. Tina's parents are frightened of kidnappers. Mr. and Mrs. Hakim Baba don't want kidnappers to take Tina. Kidnappers usually want lots of money before they release a person. People have been hurt or killed by their kidnappers. Tina's parents are very careful. They send her to school in a limousine with a bodyguard. The bodyguard follows Tina everywhere. All the other students call Tina a freak. Tina was reading a book and the bodyguard was sitting beside her. Tina had a plate of salad just like me, but she hadn't chosen a salad because she's a vegetarian. She'd chosen it because she's a little heavy. She wants to lose weight. I walked over to her table and put my plate down. Can I sit here? I asked. Tina looked up in surprise. She looked at me, and then she looked at the bodyguard. The bodyguard nodded. Tina laid her book on the table and smiled. She has large brown eyes and a nice smile. Yes, she said. Please sit with me. Tina and I ate our salads and talked about school. There's going to be a dance at Albert Einstein on Saturday. I asked Tina if she had a date for the dance. "A boy from Trinity is taking me to the dance," she replied. Trinity is a school for rich boys. I liked talking to Tina. She wasn't a freak at all. She was really nice. When she got up to get a drink, I looked at the book beside her plate. Tina was reading a romantic novel called My Name is Amanda. Lana Weinberger walked over to the table. "What has happened to your hair, Mia?" she said loudly. "It's a horrible yellow color." Then Tina came back, holding an ice cream. She gave the ice cream to me. "Oh, Tina," said Lana. "Did you buy that ice cream for Mia? Did your daddy give you money to buy a new friend?" Tina was very hurt by Lana's words, and her eyes filled with tears. I felt very angry with Lana. Suddenly, I took the ice cream and pushed it onto Lana's sweater. Everyone in the cafeteria stopped talking. They stared at us. "Look at what you've done!" Lana screamed. I stood up and picked up my plate of salad. "Come on, Tina," I said. "Let's go somewhere quieter." Tina picked up her salad and followed me. Her bodyguard followed too. He was laughing. Lily Moskovitz was staring at me. Her mouth was open with shock. Late afternoon. I'm in a lot of trouble. I'm sitting in Principal Gupter's office. Principal Gupter is the head of the school. I was sent here because I pushed ice cream into Lana Weinberger's sweater. I'm worried. What's going to happen? Evening. Principal Gupta has punished me. She has given me a week's detention. Every day next week, I have to stay for an hour after school and do extra work. I also have to do my extra algebra every day with Mr. Giannini, and the princess classes with Grandmère.
"Lana's sweater has to be cleaned, and you must pay," said Principal Gupta. "And you must apologize to her."
"I'm sorry, Principal Gupta," I said. "I'll pay for Lana's sweater to be cleaned, but I won't apologize to her." Principal Gupta was surprised, but she wasn't angry with me.
"Mia," she said quietly, "I'm worried. You've never been in trouble before. Is everything all right? Do you have any problems at home?"
I thought about all my problems. My mom is dating my algebra teacher. My best friend hates me. I'm 14 and I've never had a date. I'm too tall and too thin. And I'm the princess of Genovia. But I didn't want to talk about these things with Principal Gupta. "Everything's fine," I lied.
"You're a very special person," said Principal Gupta. "You're good and kind. Lana Weinberger is just like you. She's a very nice girl, too."
Principal Gupta doesn't understand. Lana Weinberger isn't like me at all. Tuesday, October 14th. When Laz and I arrived at school this morning, Tina Hakim Baba was arriving at the same time. We smiled at each other and went into school together. Her bodyguard followed us. "I told my parents what happened yesterday," said Tina. "I told them what Lana said. I told them about your fight with Lana. They've invited you to dinner on Friday. You can stay the night at my house." "Okay," I said. I smiled. "Thanks." I like Tina. She's nice to me. Afternoon. I've just heard some news, and I can't believe it. Lily is going to the dance on Saturday. She's going with Boris Pelkowski. I'm the only girl in my class who doesn't have a date for the dance. The only one. Why am I such a freak? Chapter 8. In the News. Tuesday, October 14th, evening. This afternoon, while Michael Moskovitz was helping me with my algebra, he asked me a strange question. "Are you doing anything on Saturday evening?" A teacher came into the room before I could reply, but I knew what Michael was going to ask me. He wanted me to meet him on Saturday. He was going to help me. He was going to give me some extra algebra work. I don't want to do extra algebra, not on the weekend. Grandmère is very happy. She heard about my friendship with Tina Hakim Baba. Tina's father is a rich Saudi Arabian prince. He knows lots of other rich people. Wednesday, October 15th. When I got to school today, lots of kids were staring at me. Maybe there was something wrong with my hair. I went into the girls' room to look in the mirror. Some girls saw me. They ran out of the room laughing. Late morning. A weird thing just happened to me. Josh Richter, the most popular boy in the school, came up to me.
"Hi, Mia. How are you?"
he asked. I couldn't answer. Josh Richter never speaks to me. Then he bent down until his face was close to my face. His eyes are very blue.
"See you later,"
he said softly. Then he walked away. Principal Gupta's office. Now I know why everyone was staring at me. I know why the girls ran out of the girls' room. I know why they laughed at me. I know why Josh Richter spoke to me. My story is in the news. My picture is on the cover of the newspaper, the New York Post. The picture shows me leaving the Plaza Hotel on Sunday night. Over the photo are the words, Princess Amelia. Underneath the picture are the words, New York's Royal Princess. Mr. Giannini saw the picture on his way to work. He called my mom, but she didn't hear the phone, so he called my dad at the Plaza Hotel. My dad told him to bring me to Principal Gupta's office. While I waited for my dad, I looked at the New York Post on Principal Gupta's desk. I read the story about me. It was by a reporter called Carol Fernandez. She wrote about my mom and dad, too. She called my mom the black-haired artist, Helen Thermopolis. She called my dad the handsome Prince Philippe of Genovia. And she called me the tall and beautiful Princess of Genovia. Carol Fernandez must be crazy. I'm not beautiful.
"Mia, you're a princess,"
said Principal Gupta.
"Why didn't you tell me?"
I didn't want anyone to know, I said. Here comes my dad now. Afternoon. I'm mad with my dad. He made me stay at school and go back to my classes. You don't understand, Dad, I said. All the kids are laughing at me. Why did you tell Carol Fernandez about me?
"Me?"
said my dad in a surprised voice.
"I didn't tell that reporter anything."
Then he looked at Mr. Giannini. Mr. Giannini was standing by the door. His hands were in his pockets.
"It wasn't me," replied Mr. Giannini. "I didn't speak to Carol Fernandez. I hadn't heard of Genovia until this morning." "Well, somebody told the newspapers about Mia," said my dad. "I'm going to call Carol Fernandez and ask her."
Then he told Laz to go with me to my classroom. Dad, I don't need a bodyguard, I said.
"Mia," said my dad, "Genovia is a small country, but it's very rich. Maybe someone will try to kidnap you."
Dad, no one is going to kidnap me, I said. But my dad didn't listen. Now I have a bodyguard, just like Tina Hakim Baba. Everyone will laugh at me even more. Late afternoon. Suddenly, I'm very popular. When I walked into the cafeteria at lunchtime, Lana Weinberger came up to me. "Hey, Amelia," she said, "come and sit with us." Lana wants to be my friend now because I'm a princess. No thanks, Lana, I said. I have someone to sit with. I went to sit with Tina. Lana looked shocked. Everyone in the cafeteria was staring at our table. Tina looked at me sadly, but she didn't say anything. Tina, I said at last, if you don't want to sit with me, I'll understand. Tina's eyes filled with tears. What do you mean, Mia? She said. Don't you like me anymore? Of course I like you, I said. But everyone is staring at us because of me. No, Mia, she said. They are not staring because of you. Everyone always stares at me. They stare at me because of Wahim. Wahim is Tina's bodyguard. He and Lars were sitting together at our table. The two men were talking about guns. I got mad then. I wasn't mad with Tina. I was mad with everyone else at Albert Einstein High School. Nobody talks to Tina. She's a freak, they say. She's weird. But she's a really nice girl. I want to sit with you, Tina, I said. Tina looked happier then. She started reading another romance today. She told me all about it. When Michael Moskovitz was helping me with my algebra, we had this conversation. Lily joined in too. Michael. So you're the Princess of Genovia. When were you going to tell your friends? Me. I didn't want anyone to know. Michael. Why? It's not a bad thing. Me. Are you joking? Of course it's bad. I don't want a different life. I don't want to be a princess. Lily. Mia, your dad has more than $300 million. He's never worked for it. I read this in a newspaper. Did this money come from the poor people of Genovia? Michael. Lily, no one in Genovia has to pay anything to their government. The country is very rich. Everyone in Genovia has a good education. Maybe Mia's father gets paid well because he works very hard for his country. You're jealous. Lily. I am not. Michael. Yes, you are. Mia got a new hairstyle and she didn't ask for your advice first. That's why you're jealous. Then you stopped talking to her and she found a new friend. All this time Mia had a secret and she didn't tell you about it. Lily. To Michael. Michael, shut up. Michael, to me. Does this guy, pointing to Lars, follow you everywhere? Does he go with you on dates? Will he go with you to the dance this weekend? Me. No, because no one has asked me. Chapter 9. I'm famous. Wednesday, October 15th, evening. I'm famous. When Lars and I walked out of the school today, there were reporters everywhere. They started taking photos and shouting questions. Smile, please, Amelia. Hey, Amelia, what's it like being a princess? I was frightened, but Lars helped me. First, he told me not to say anything. Then he put his arm around me. He pushed me through the crowd of photographers and reporters. He pushed me into the back seat of Dad's car. Then he jumped in beside me. Drive, shouted Lars. I didn't know the man who was driving the car. My dad was sitting next to him. Where will I go to school now, Dad? I asked. You can stay at Albert Einstein High School, said my dad. Lars will go with you every day. He'll protect you. Who will drive your car? I asked. Hans, said my dad, pointing to the driver. He's my driver now. Will Lars go everywhere with me? I asked. Yes, said my dad. Suddenly I understood. I'll never be able to go anywhere alone again. I don't want to be a princess anymore, I said. "You can take back your money. Tell Grand-mère to go back to France. I've had enough."
"It's too late, Mia," said my dad. "You're the Princess of Genovia. Everyone knows that. Tomorrow there will be photos of you in every newspaper in America."
Later, my mom spoke to my dad. Now he's mad with her.
"Clarice talked to Carol Fernandez about Mia, didn't she?" said Mom. "My mother didn't tell that reporter about Mia," said my dad angrily. "Why do you think that? Maybe your boyfriend Frank Giannini spoke to the reporter."
Then my mom got mad too.
"Get out," she said in a cold voice. "Leave my apartment." "You don't like my mother, so you can't see the truth," said my dad angrily.
"The truth?" said my mom. "I'll tell you the truth, Philippe. Your mother—" I went to my room. I didn't want to hear the fight between my parents. But is my mom right? Did Grand-mère tell Carol Fernandez about me? Thursday, October 16th. This morning, my picture was on the covers of the Daily News newspaper and the magazine New York Newsday. The picture was also in the New York Times. There were more reporters waiting for me outside school today. Lars held my arm and we ran into school together. As we ran, the reporters were shouting questions. "Amelia, who do you like best, Leonardo DiCaprio or Prince William?" "Princess Amelia, why don't you eat meat?" Afternoon. Something very surprising has happened. I was in the cafeteria with Tina and Laz and Wahim. We were eating our lunch. Suddenly, Lana Weinberger put her tray down next to mine. I'm not joking. Lana Weinberger sat beside me. Then someone else put down a tray on the table. It was Josh Richter.
"Hey,"
he said. He sat down in the seat next to me and started eating. "Are you going to the school dance this weekend, Mia?" asked Lana. "Josh's parents are away. After the dance, we're all going to a party at Josh's place. Will you come too?" "I'm sorry," I said. "I can't." Lana stared at me. "What do you mean, you can't?" she said. "I've heard about the seniors' parties. Everyone drinks lots of alcohol and gets very drunk. My mom won't let me go to a party like that," I said. "Don't tell your mom the truth," Lana said. "Say to her, I'm spending the night with a girlfriend." But I could never tell this lie to my mom. "I'm sorry," I said. "Everyone drinks a lot of alcohol at those parties. I don't drink alcohol. Alcohol is a poison. I don't like putting poison into my body."
"I can understand that,"
said Josh Richter suddenly. "Josh," said Lana laughing, "you drink more than anyone in the whole school." Josh didn't laugh. He just stared at Lana with his blue eyes. It wasn't a very nice stare. Late afternoon. When class is finished, Josh was waiting outside my classroom.
"Hey,"
he said. Then he smiled. It was a big smile that showed all his teeth. They were very white.
"Are you going to the dance with anyone?"
he asked. I dropped my book in surprise. I bent down to pick it up. "No," I said in a weak voice.
"Oh, well, I'll see you,"
said Josh. Then he left. I'm still shocked. Josh Richter talked to me today. Twice. Evening. This evening, Grand-mère wanted to have dinner at an expensive restaurant. She wanted us to go outside the Plaza Hotel for a meal.
"There will be reporters outside," she said. "I'll teach you what to do."
But when we came out of the hotel, the reporters weren't there.
"Wait 1 minute,"
said Grand-mère. She went back into the hotel. I got into the car. She came out of the hotel again a little later. When we arrived at the restaurant, lots of reporters were waiting. I was very surprised. Immediately, they started taking photos and shouting questions. I turned to Grandmère. You called these reporters, didn't you? You told them about our plan to eat here. Did you tell Carol Fernandez about me too? Did you give her my story for her newspaper? Of course, said Grandmère. You have to learn how to live with reporters, Amelia. It's part of being a princess. Dad and Mom had a big fight about the report in the New York Post, I said. But Mr. Giannini didn't talk to Carol Fernandez, did he? You did. I'm going to tell Dad the truth. He's going to be really mad at you, Grandmère. No, he won't be mad, she said. That story in the Post was only the beginning. Soon you'll be on the cover of Vogue magazine, and then... Grandmère, I shouted. I don't want to be on the cover of Vogue. When I got home, I called my dad. Dad, Grandmère told Carol Fernandez everything about me, I said. It wasn't Mr. Giannini. I know, he said in an unhappy voice. Well, I said, you have to apologize to Mom. Later, my dad called my mom. Afterwards, she looked very happy. Maybe my dad apologized to her. Chapter 10. My First Date. Friday, October 17th. Josh and Lana have broken up. I can't believe this. Josh has ended his relationship with Lana. He doesn't want her as his girlfriend anymore. Everyone in school is talking about it. When I saw Lana, she looked awful. Her eyes were red. She had been crying. After the first lesson, Josh Richter came up to me after my English class. Hey, Mia, who are you going with to the dance tomorrow? He asked. No one, I replied. Well, why don't we go together? He said. I couldn't speak for a minute. Josh Richter and me on a date. Then I heard a tiny voice inside my head. He's only asking you because you're the princess of Genovia. But I didn't want to listen to the voice. Yeah, okay, I said. That might be fun. Fine, said Josh. I'll come for you at 7 o'clock. We'll go to a restaurant, Tavern on the Green, and have dinner first. Late morning. I'm going to the dance with Josh, and Lily has found out. Now she's speaking to me again, but she only says bad things about Josh. He's just broken up with Lana, she said. He broke up with her 16 hours ago. Then this afternoon he asks you out. He's bad, Mia. And he takes drugs. Some of Josh's friends take drugs, this is true. But does Josh take drugs? I can't believe that. Lana looks so sad, and Josh doesn't seem to care. He and his friends sat with Tina and me at lunch today. But Josh and his friends didn't talk to us. They just talked to each other. I feel bad about Lana, but I still want to go to the dance with Josh. Evening. My princess class with Grandmère ended after an hour. This is because I'm going to spend the night at Tina's place. I told Grandmère about the dance and Josh's invitation. Grandmère was very pleased. She called a famous fashion company. She made an appointment for me tomorrow. I'm going to their store to choose a new dress. After I left Grandmère's suite, I went to Tina's huge luxury apartment. Tina has 3 little sisters and a baby brother. She also has a big TV in her room and a Sony PlayStation. Tina's parents are really nice. Mr. Hakim Baba isn't well. He has a problem with his heart. He can't eat meat. He only eats vegetables and rice. Mrs. Hakim Baba is very beautiful. She's British and she has blonde hair. She used to be a fashion model. Her picture was once on the cover of Vogue, but she doesn't work now. Tina showed me her dress for the dance. It's very pretty. She looks much more like a princess than I do. Saturday, October 18th. When I got home, Mr. Giannini was there. "Has Josh called?" I asked my mom.
"You don't mean Josh Richter, do you?"
asked Mr. Giannini. "Yes," I said. "I'm going to the dance with Josh tonight."
"But what about Lana Weinberger?"
asked Mr. Giannini in a surprised voice.
"She is Josh's girlfriend."
"They broke up," I said. "Who's Josh Richter?" asked my mom. "He's the most gorgeous boy in the school," I said.
"Well, he's the most popular," said Mr. Giannini. "But he isn't the right kind of boy for Mia."
"Oh," said my mom.
"Then I have to talk to Mia's father."
She called my dad at the Plaza Hotel. As she was speaking to him, the front doorbell rang. Mr. Giannini opened the door.
"I'm Clarice Marie Rinaldo, the Dowager Princess of Genovia,"
said a loud voice.
"Who are you?"
It was Grand-mère. She had come to our apartment. She was going to take me shopping. She stared at Mr. Giannini. "Grand-mère," I said, "they won't let me go to the dance." My mom was still talking to my dad on the phone. Grand-mère came into the apartment and took the phone from Mom's hand.
"Philippe,"
Grand-mère said into the phone,
"your daughter is going to the dance tonight with her boyfriend. I'm going to buy her a new dress. I'm taking her to the store now."
Then Grand-mère spoke quickly to my dad. She used some rude words, but she spoke in French, so only I understood her. My mom and Mr. Giannini didn't understand what she was saying. When Grand-mère put the phone down, she looked around our apartment.
"The Princess of Genovia lives here?" she asked. "In this place?"
"Now listen, Clarice," said my mom angrily.
"Go and get your coat, Amelia," said Grand-mère.
I went to get my coat. When I returned to the living room, my mom's eyes were very red. Mr. Giannini was looking at the floor. Then I went shopping with Grand-mère. Mom and Mr. Giannini didn't stop me. Evening. It's after 7 o'clock, and I'm waiting for Josh. I'm sitting and writing my diary. I'm wearing my new dress and my new shoes. My hair and my makeup and nails are perfect. My dress is pale blue silk, and it's beautiful. My dad is sitting at the kitchen table. My mom keeps looking at the clock.
"You can go out with Josh,"
said my dad.
"But Lars has to go with you."
My dad looked at his watch.
"It's 7:15, he said. "Josh Richter is late."
The front doorbell has just rung. Josh is here. The ladies' room, Tavern on the Green. I'm sitting in the ladies' room of the restaurant, Tavern on the Green. Josh was good with my parents. My dad asked him lots of questions. Questions such as, what car are you driving? What time will you be back? Which college are you going to after high school? Josh answered all my dad's questions politely. He even called my dad Sir. Then Josh and Lars and I went down to the street. Josh had come in his father's car. We got into it. Lars drove and Josh and I sat in the back seat. We talked for a few minutes, but then a strange thing happened. Josh and I didn't have anything more to say to each other. We didn't talk for the rest of the ride to the restaurant. I don't have this problem with Lily's brother, Michael. Michael Moskovitz and I never stopped talking. When we got to the restaurant, Josh's friends and their girlfriends were sitting at a big table. Josh ordered bottles of champagne. Then, without asking me, he ordered steaks too. But I'm a vegetarian and I won't eat meat. I haven't eaten my steak and Josh hasn't noticed. He's talking and laughing with his friends. He hasn't spoken to me since we got to the restaurant. He has ordered more and more champagne. Why does he want to drink so much? This evening is not going well, so I came into the ladies' room, but I'll have to go back to the table soon. Chapter 11. The Wrong Kind of Boy. Saturday, October 18th, evening. The girls' room, Albert Einstein High School. I found out the truth about Josh. I can't believe what he's done. We stayed in the restaurant for a long time. Josh and his friends drank 9 bottles of champagne. We were late getting to the dance. When we arrived at the school, there were lots of news reporters' vans outside the building. There was a big crowd of reporters. They were shining big, bright lights onto the steps at the front of the school. Some reporters were checking their cameras and tape recorders. Others were talking on their cell phones. They were all waiting for someone. Me. Who told all the reporters that I was coming to the dance? Not Grandmère this time. Lars was very angry when he saw the crowd, but Josh didn't care. "Come on," he said to me. "We'll run up the steps into the school while Lars parks the car." Josh held my hand and pulled me out of the car. Then he pulled me up the steps to the school doors. When the reporters saw me, they shouted, "It's her! It's Princess Mia!" They started taking pictures and shouting questions. The lights of the camera's flashbulbs were very bright. I couldn't see where I was going. I held Josh's hand tightly. At last, I saw the school doors in front of us. Josh stopped. Below us, the reporters were screaming questions and taking photos. "Kiss her! Kiss her!" they shouted. Suddenly, Josh turned toward me and kissed me on the lips. At once, all the camera's flashbulbs went off. The reporters were taking pictures of Princess Mia's first kiss. But I didn't feel happy and romantic. I felt embarrassed. Josh turned to the reporters. He waved his hand and smiled. Then he opened the doors to the school and pushed me inside. My friends were standing inside the school hall. Tina and her boyfriend, Lillian Barris. Mr. Giannini and other students from school were there too. Everyone was looking at me. I couldn't think clearly. Josh Richter had just kissed me on the lips. He had kissed me, and all the reporters had taken a picture. Then I realized the truth. Josh wanted to date a princess, so he broke up with Lana. Then he invited me to the dance. He told the reporters about the dance. He told them about me. He wanted to get his picture in the papers with me. I turned and stared at Josh. "Why did you kiss me in front of everyone?" I asked angrily. "The reporters were shouting, 'Kiss her, kiss her,'" said Josh. "They wanted a good photo, so I kissed you." "You didn't kiss me because you like me," I said. "You kissed me because I'm the Princess of Genovia." "Of course I like you," said Josh. "No," I said. "You don't care about me. You don't know me. You don't know my feelings or thoughts. You haven't asked what I like. You ordered a steak for my dinner, but you didn't ask me first." My friends were all staring at Josh. "Mia is a vegetarian, you idiot," said Lily. "Oh, sorry," said Josh. But he didn't sound very sorry. "Are you ready to dance?" I didn't reply. I didn't want to dance with Josh. I turned and walked away into the girls' room. Tomorrow, pictures of Josh kissing me will be in all the newspapers. Will the words, "Young Royal is in love," be above the pictures? I'm not in love with Josh anymore. I don't want a boyfriend like him. He only wants me because I'm a princess. When my dad sees the photos, he's going to be really mad. Then I heard Lily and Tina's voices. They had come into the girls' room. "Are you okay, Mia?" Lily asked in a kind voice. "I'm sorry about everything. Come and join us." "I can't," I said. "You all have dates. I don't have one." "Michael is here," said Lily. "He doesn't have a date." "Michael Moskovitz is at the dance? I'm coming out." Sunday, October 19th, Lily's place. Lily and I aren't fighting anymore, and Lily and Tina have become friends. There weren't any pictures of Josh kissing me in the newspapers today. There was more important news. Yesterday, Iran attacked Afghanistan. All the news reports were about the fighting. I had a wonderful time with Michael at the dance. We talked a lot, and we danced together. It was wonderful standing close to Michael and holding him. Then we all went back to Lily's place in Tina's car. I called my mom. She let me stay with Lily last night. This morning I woke up early. I can hear Lily's family making breakfast in the kitchen. I am so happy. Evening, my apartment. Grandmère and Dad came here this afternoon. They wanted to know about the dance. I didn't tell Dad about my kiss with Josh. I spoke to Lars earlier. He promised not to tell my dad either. I won't have any princess classes for a whole week. Grandmère is going away for several days. Later in the afternoon, I took Grandmère up to the roof of our apartment. My mom and Dad came out onto the roof too. There is a wonderful view of the city from our roof. You can see all of Manhattan and the Hudson River. The sun was just going down, and the sky was purple and pink and orange. We all stood on the roof and watched the beautiful sunset. I felt very peaceful and happy. Maybe everything is going to be all right. Maybe my life as a princess will be okay too.